Good morning, all the children, once again. Welcome back to the class. We were discussing the poem, The Road Not Taken. We have already finished two stanzas. Let's continue with the third stanza today. Yesterday, we were studying that in the first stanza, the poet is talking about the first choice, that is the first road only. In the second stanza, the poet has talked about the second road, or the second life, or the second choice. And to his surprise, he found both the roads equally beautiful, both the roads equally attractive, all the possibilities, all the other factors were almost same. Now let's discuss the third stanza and find out what is the decision of the author. Here we start with the third stanza. Before that, let's recapitulate first and second one. Just the reading. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. This is first stanza. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better plain, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. This is the second stanza, which we have already completed. Now let's continue with the third stanza. Children, yesterday I told you it is a morning time. It is autumn season, and morning time, shows us the beginning of new day, the beginning of new life. Similarly, yellow. We were discussing the word yellow. Children, yellow is also light. It is not color. The light is also yellow. It can be white, it can be yellow in color. So it also, this color shows hope. This color shows hope. This color shows light. This color shows new beginning of life. Let's continue with third stanza. And both here mean both the roads, and both that morning. Which morning the writer is talking about? If you look at this stanza carefully, in the first stanza also the poet is at the same place. In the second stanza also he is there only. In the third stanza also he is at the same juncture, at the same point. It means, what is the poet doing? The poet is thinking. It means he has taken a long time in he has consumed a long time in thinking only. He is thinking, and thinking. And after assessing both the roads, he came to know that both the roads are almost equal. Now he will go deep into the assessment of both the roads. He will find something else, which will help him in deciding which way to go, whether to go to the first side or to the second side. And both the roads, and both that morning means that particular or specific morning, right, when the writer was waiting, when the writer was trying to make the decision. And both that morning equally lay means the roads were equally covered with leaves and other things. So both the roads were not used by any traveler so far. So both the roads were looking very attractive. So much tempting, so much temptation is there. And both that morning equally lay in leaves. In leaves mean both the paths were covered with leaves. So many leaves they fall off from the trees every day, especially when there is autumn season. Then we see the leaves they mature, and after that they fall down. Right? Then new leaves take the place of the previous leaves. In leaves, obviously, when a traveler passes from there, he will walk on those leaves. He will walk on the road. He will walk on the grass. What will happen to the road? The road, I mean, the leaves on the road will be crumbled, will be crushed by the traveler's feet. If bikes are going, or some horses, or any other vehicle is going, everything will crush the leaves. In leaves, no step. No step means no human being. No footstep. No footstep of human being. It means nobody has come there so far. He is the first person to come there. He is the traveler. Of course, many people must have traveled the previous day, but today he is the first traveler. He is there, but he is confused. And both that morning equally lay in leaves. No step had trodden black. No step here means no human being. Children, once again, here. Once again, step. Once again, the transferred activity. Once again, the technique of Snake dosage is used here. What is synecdoche? I told you the other day when we were discussing the poem Father Returning Home. When we were discussing the word weekly, then I told you what is synecdoche? When a part stands for whole. When a part stands for whole. Here, step, whose step we are talking about? Person's footsteps. Person's footsteps. It means no step had taken back no person. No person had passed from there. This is what we mean by synecdoche. So nobody has passed from there. The traveler, the writer is the first person in the morning. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. No step had trodden black. Black means that nobody has come there, nobody has crushed that path with his feet. Nobody has used that road so far. I hope the first two lines of third stanza are clear to you.
Yes, sir.
In the first stanza, the poet has talked about the first road. In second stanza, the poet is talking about the second road. In third stanza, he is comparing both the roads. Then immediately you will come to know that he will find something and then he will make his decision. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Trodden black means crushed with feet. Nobody has made that path black with his footsteps. Nobody has gone from there. So both the roads are looking fresh. Both the roads are looking equally attractive. Now, children, in third line of third stanza. The third line of third stanza, we come to know the decision taken by the author. The decision taken by the traveler. Don't think that he has taken the decision all of a sudden. He has taken the decision, but before that he gave a deep thinking to the choice, to his choice. Children, in your life also, the things are going to be like this only, but a wise person will always think before taking a decision, right? Because when you have taken a decision, there can be no turning back. You cannot go back and change your decision because the past cannot be changed. Of course, you can change your future, your good decisions, but once the decision has been taken, it becomes the past, and past cannot be changed. Whatever has been done cannot be undone by a person. In movies, we can have retakes, but in real life, we cannot go back and change the situation. Had this been there, then everybody would have changed his life in a fraction of seconds. But actually, this is not possible. So this is an advice by the author also, and I also want to give you the same advice that before taking the decision, think many times. But once you have taken the decision, that decision can be right, that decision can be wrong also. because yesterday only I told you that you can see the road till some distance. You cannot see the whole road. You cannot see the end point. Similarly, in life also, when we take any decision, we never know whether that decision will work or whether that decision will not work. But the thing is, we see the benefits and the negative things of that side. So whenever you are taking any decision, before that, think a lot, and after you have taken the decision, don't think about the past. I mean, there should be no regret in your life. Suppose you have taken the decision and the decision is not successful, then you should not be feeling regretful. If you feel regretful, then it means you have not done your duty. You have not taken your choice seriously. So please, before taking the decision, think a lot, and after taking the decision, don't regret. It may turn in your favor, it can go against you also, right? I'll give you a simple example of KFC. You must have heard the name of KFC. It's a very popular chain of hotels throughout the world. You know, this person, Colonel, his name is, this, the name of this person is Colonel Sanders. Kentucky, the full form of KFC is Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know, this person was a big failure in his life. He lost his parents at an early age. He was not able to get good education. He lost his girlfriend, then his wife also left him. He was a big failure in his life. He tried his hand at so many professions. He tried to do so much work in his life, but every time he was a complete failure. And you know, in this failure only, 65 years were passed. He was 65 years when he decided to commit a suicide. He thought that the life is not worth living. Let's end the life. This is a worthless, this is a useless life. Let's end this life. Then he remembered that he was very good at frying something. He was very good at frying chicken. So then he started his recipe. Initially, he started selling chicken from home to home, fried chicken from home to home, and then people started liking the recipe. Then gradually he uh, increased his business, and now you can see this KFC is very popular throughout the world. It has the outlet at almost every corner of the world. This is the story. So he took so many decisions in his life. He tried his hand at so many professions, but he was a big failure. But one thing is there, he never regretted his decisions. He never regretted his life. Of course, he was very upset that he is not getting the type of life which he wants, but he did not regret any decision. And see, sometimes your decisions can be so amazing that your whole life is changed. And in this person's life also, the turning point came after 65 years. So be patient, right? Take decisions boldly, think deeply before taking the decision. Take decisions boldly, but after you have taken the decision, there is no going back. This thing should be remembered by everybody. Let's continue. This is just a simple example to tell you that decisions should be taken, but after that, no regret should be there. But if it turns in your favor, that is also good. If it goes against you, that will also give you some lesson, right? Good days give you good memories, and bad days give you good experience. We learn so many things from bad experiences. So these bad experiences will teach us good things in life, and this is how we get experience. This is how we become wise. This is how we get wisdom. We take some bad decisions, some good decisions together. They make us wise. These decisions make us wise. But one thing is there: taking decision is very important, and the decision should be your own. You can take the suggestion of anybody, but ultimately the decision should be yours. Then only you will be able to become a wise person. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Now, third line, third stanza. In this line, we are going to see the decision taken by the writer. Oh, I kept the first for another day. I kept the first mean, I kept the first road for another day. Oh, so what has he chosen? He has chosen the second road. He has rejected the first road. He has chosen the second road. Maybe he must have gone deep into the assessment of the roads, and he came to know that the first road was used by some people. Most of the travelers, they went on the first road, but the second road is not used by many people. So that is the reason he decided to go on the second road, because the second road was less traveled by the people. Children, here the writer does not mean that the road which is taken by most of the people, that can be wrong choice, or the road which is taken, which is not taken by anybody, that is the right choice. The poet does not want to say this. The poet does not want to give this type of message. What the poet wants to say is that we should not follow the people blindly. We should see what are our requirements. We should see what are our circumstances, what are our needs, what are our ambitions. Accordingly, we should choose the type of life for us, because your friend may or may not have uh, that specific thing. He will go for something else. You may have some different requirement. Definitely you will have some other choice. So please don't follow blindly. Here the writer wants to say that I have kept the first for another day. For another day means to use in future. Children, this line tells us so many things. He says that for another day, he cannot come to that place again, because the past will never come back. But he is giving, what you say, comfort to himself by saying this, that I have kept the first for another day. Another day will not come, because the past is gone. He will not come to that place again. Here place means he will not come to that time again. He will not have that time again. So just to give himself some comfort, just to assure himself that I have taken the right decision, uh, he is saying this line. Oh, I kept the first for another day. I hope the choice of the writer is clear to you. Which road has he taken? Shweta, can you tell me which road has he taken?
Yes, sir. So he
Which
taken
road?
the first road.
Oh, what are you doing? See the line. Oh, I kept the first road for another day. For another day, he says that I will come to the first road some other day. He is trying to give comfort to himself. He has taken the second road. This line is
Okay, sir.
confusing also. Oh, I kept the road, I kept the first for another day. It means he has not chosen the first road, he has taken the second road. Okay, he has taken the second road. So this choice, right, chosen by the poet. So this is the choice. I hope now the things are clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the poet has chosen the second road. Please try to focus on the line. Oh, I kept the first for another day, for some other day. He can come back to that road some other day, but actually it is not possible. You cannot go to the past and change the past. You cannot go to the past and change the decision so that you can change your future or your present. This is not possible. Just to give himself comfort, just to make himself comfortable, he is saying this line. Actually, there is nothing like that. He cannot come back. You must be thinking that what is there? He can come back to that road anytime. But actually, he is not talking about roads. He is talking about life. So these roads are symbols of life. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, children, this word, what is the meaning of yet? Yet means though. Though. Condition is there. Some condition is there. Obviously, he has to take one choice only. Two choices are there, but he cannot take both the choices. He cannot take both the lives because he is the only traveler. Yet knowing means he does not know. He does not know whether the second road will take him to his destination or he will be lost on the second road. He does not know. Maybe it is possible that there are wild animals at the end of the second road, or maybe there are dangerous animals on the way. You never know. He does not know, so he is taking a big risk of his life. This is how the life is. You have to take risks also at some points of your life. Yet knowing means he did not know, he did not have the least idea whether he will be successful or not, whether he will reach his desired destination or not. He does not know anything like that. Yet knowing how way means one way. One way. Which way he has taken? He has taken the second way, but he does not know. But one thing is sure, he came to know that the first road is more traveled by the people, and second road is less traveled by the people. Maybe children, you can guess the meaning of this choice. The road which is less traveled by the people. These days, discipline is very costly. Honesty is a very expensive thing. Hard work is done by very few people. So on one side we have the comfort zone, right? Most of the people, they go for the comfort zone only, and most of the people, they remain same as they are in the beginning. At the end of the life also, they are same. There is a popular saying also: you cannot change the beginning, but with your hard work, perseverance, and your determination, you can change the future. You can change the ending. So this is the difference between the people who are in the comfort zone and the people who get out of the comfort zone and change the course of their life. Take the example of your class only. There are 157 children who are supposed to join this class, but very few, less than 50 children, maybe less than 40 or maybe less than 30 children are joining the class. It means the people who are not attending the class, some of them must be having genuine problem also, but most of them, they want to remain in the comfort zone only. They must be thinking that why to attend the classes without classes also they can. So they don't want to come out of the comfort zone. But the people who are attending the classes, the people who are doing something creative, they will definitely be far more better than those people. Children, you take the example of Hassan only. Hassan was a very rich person. He was a big failure in his life because he remained in his comfort zone only. He does not want to come out of the comfort zone. He was a very rich person. He did not go to the classes. He did not attend the lectures. He used to mug up some important questions and used to get good marks. But actually, he did not have any knowledge. Similarly, if you take the example of your life also, if there are 50 children in the class, all the 50 children will not be successful in their life. Only one or two, three, maximum five children will be able to get their dreams realized. Everybody will not be able to get their dreams. If I ask you now, what do you want to become? Everybody will say, I want to become an IAS officer, an IPS officer. I want to become a CA, chartered accountant. I want to join military. I want to become an officer in police. But these things are not just for the sake of saying only. For these things, you need a lot of efforts, a lot of determination, lot of hard work. But when I ask the children about the efforts, what efforts are they making to realize their dreams? They become mum. They don't have any answer. So obviously, only those children will be able to realize their dream who are burning midnight oil, who are working very hard, who are
Excuse me,
walking
sir.
extra mile. Yes.
Only 5 minutes are left, sir.
Okay, Shweta, I will finish this stanza then. Children, you have to come out of the comfort zone. Very few people come out of the comfort zone, and that is the road not taken. That is the road less traveled by the people. If you want something different in your life, you have to be different. You have to do something different, right? You have to do the things differently. It is a quote also. Winners don't do different things; they just do the things differently, right? One person is getting up at 10 o'clock. One person is getting up at 5 o'clock. So the person getting up at 5 o'clock will be the winner because he is doing the same thing but differently. So this is the difference between the road taken and the road not taken. Here the road not taken, the writer wants to convey the message that here the road not taken is the road which needs lot of courage, which needs lot of risk, which needs lot of patience, which needs lot of hard work, perseverance, determination, all these things, commitment should be there, consistency should be there. So all these things are possible only if you come out of the comfort zone. Let's continue with the fourth line. Yet knowing how way leads on to way. So one way would lead to another. Maybe after walking some distance, he will find some more hurdles. He will find some more obstacles. There can be so many problems. But of course, if you have willpower, if you are determined, definitely you will be able to overcome the problems. But winners never complain. They always learn. If they are successful, there also they learn. If they are not successful, there also they learn a valuable lesson. Then they continue their life like that. And the morning day, no steps have trodden back. So I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way. I doubted. Children, very clearly, right? It shows that the poet has taken the decision, but he is not sure. That's why the poet is using the word doubted. I doubted. Doubted means he had a doubt in his mind. He is afraid also what will happen, but he is courageous enough to take the decision. This is what the poet wants from your side also. Be bold, be courageous enough to take the decision. I doubted if I should ever come back. If I should ever come back, means if he would be able to come back to that place again. Of course, he will not be able to come back. We all know because the past cannot be changed. We cannot undone whatever has been done in the past. So this is the stanza all about. In the third stanza, we have seen the poet has taken his choice. Finally, he has made his decision to walk on the second road. He left the first road, he walked on the second road, which is less traveled by the people. In the first stanza, the poet is talking about the first choice. In second stanza, the poet is talking about second road. In third stanza, the poet goes deeply in assessing the future of both the choices. Then finally, he chooses one road. He chooses the second road, but still he is doubtful whether that road will be taking him to his desired destination or not. But still, he is courageous enough. He is determined and bold enough to take that decision. So, children, this is all about the third stanza. We'll continue the fourth stanza in the next lecture. Thank you very much. This is the end of the class.
Thank you, sir.